it is my pleasure and honor to invite the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Communication, Mrs. Moni Udo, to join us on stage. You're welcome, ma'am. Mrs. Moni Udo is the Director of ICT Department of the Federal Ministry of Communication. You're welcome, ma'am. I would also like to invite the Director General of NIDA, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami. He'll be joining us any moment. I would also like to invite the Director, E-Government Development and Regulatory Department of NIDA, Dr. Vincent Olatunji. You're welcome, sir. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much. The last but not the least, I'd like to welcome the Director, Corporate Planning and Strategy of NIDA, the Director, Corporate Planning and Strategy Department of NIDA, Dr. Agu Collins. Agu. You're welcome, sir. At this point, I'll be leaving the podium for my bosses to do the remaining. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellencies here present, good afternoon. Industry leaders, good afternoon. Former Director General, NIDA, Mr. Peter Jack, you're welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, good afternoon to this communique reading and adopting ceremony. My name is Moni Udo, as the MC said to you, and I'm the Director in charge of ICT in the Ministry of Communication Technology. I want to start by apologizing on behalf of my principal, the Permanent Secretary, who wanted to be here in person and attended the conference from the opening up until yesterday's dinner, but had to chair a very important national meeting that the President directed that he should hold this afternoon. And he has asked me to represent him at this occasion. eNIgeria. We've been here since Tuesday, the 7th of November, 2017. And you agree with me that the last 3 days have been very enlightening, informative, and challenging. We've listened to erudite scholars present their research findings, their different perspectives to what the government should be doing and what the academia should be doing and what the private sector should be doing. And most importantly, we've been advised on how important it is for synergies to be created amongst these three sectors. And a lot also was said about encouraging startups. We know that the future of any economy lies with the young people, the new businesses that are being created on a daily basis. And I make bold to say that all of us here and the stakeholders that are listening to us outside that operate within the ICT space, that we're like the lucky ones who work in that environment that is the leveler of all other sectors. You will also agree with me that applying ICTs in every aspect of human endeavor will lift such endeavor to higher levels, where you can experience growth, wealth creation, advancements in technologies, ease of doing business, improvements in the environment, even the dating experience. We all know that today, a lot of our young people, they are so restless that they don't even spend enough time with other people to be able to understand them the way human nature demands. But technology has created the environment for them to interact. And ICTs, without sounding repetitive, has provided better environments for everybody to operate, for everybody who dares to dream dreams and pursue those dreams. And when those dreams become reality, they take their economies to higher levels. On that note, I want to just, on behalf of the Ministry of Communication, thank everybody that is here seated today. Thank everybody that participated right from day one up till this moment. And I also want to specially appreciate the tech startups that were showcased during this year's conference. They are truly the future of the ICT sector in this country. They are also the future of Nigeria, the economy, the peoples, the culture, and the attitudes. So I want to ask all of us in our various desks, wherever we find relevance, we should use our good offices to support in whatever way or manner we can these young people, especially those talented ones that are dogged in what they do. It's not easy to operate in Nigeria with the level of infrastructure development that we have to get innovations out of these young people. But against all odds, they have done something commendable. So please join me to appreciate these young people. Thank you very much. So without wasting too much of our time, I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Agu, to take us through the communique that we have put together at the end of this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Moniudo. All protocols are duly observed. However, I would like to specially recognize the presence of the former Director General of National Information Technology Development Agency, Mr. Peter Olu-Jack. Thank you. I've been directed to read out the communique for this annual event, eNIgeria 2017. So this is a draft communique of the eNIgeria 2017 conference held from Tuesday 7th to Thursday 9th of November 2017 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Preamble. The National Information Technology Development Agency, an agency of the Federal Ministry of Communications, organized the 10th edition of eNIgeria Conference and Exhibition from Tuesday 7th to Thursday 9th November 2017 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. The theme of the conference is Fostering Digital Economy Through Local Content and Effective Regulations. 2.0, the eNIgeria is Nigeria's flagship international conference and exhibition that brings stakeholders together in the IT industry to deliberate on emerging technologies, local innovations, and relevant information and communication technology issues for the socio-economic development of the nation. 3.0, the objectives of 2017 edition are to encourage indigenous ICT innovation, management for national and economic development, position the nation to benefit from emerging technologies, articulate the imperatives of ICT for effective service delivery, outline a roadmap for national ICT skills development, and identify entrepreneurial opportunities and regulatory challenges affecting local content promotion and adoption. 4.0. The opening ceremony was attended by eminent personalities, which included the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the Honorable Minister of Communications, Barrister Abdul Rahim Adebayo Shitu, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, Alhaji Mohammed Bello, Attorney General of the Attorney General of the Federation, and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN, represented by the Solicitor General of the Federation, Mr. Dayo Akpata, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Communication, Mr. Abdullahi Abdulaziz Mashi, representative of the Government of Estonia, Commissioner of Science and Technology, Edo State, Emmanuel A. Agbala Esquire, Commissioner of Science and Technology, Gombe State, Hajia Asmao I. Mohammed, and the Director General, Chief Executive, National Information Technology Development Agency, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, fellow British Computer Society, who happens to be also the host of the event. 5.0, other dignitaries present included Professor Umar Dampata, Executive Vice Chairman, Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Dr. Dan Azumi Ibrahim, Director General, CEO, National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAB, Executive Secretary, Petroleum Equalization Fund, PEF, Alhaji AA Boy, I'm sorry for my pronunciation. Managing Director, Chief Executive, Galaxy Backbone PLC, Mr. Yusuf Kazari, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University, Gashua, Professor Andrew Haruna, Captains of Industry in the Information Technology sector, Presidents of ICT-related professional bodies such as NCS, CPN, ISPON, and NGOs. A total of 2,597 participants from Nigeria and outside the country registered and attended the conference. 6.0. During the opening ceremony, the DG, CEO of NIDA, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, gave the welcome address, while the Honorable Minister of Communication gave the remarks. Various goodwill messages were delivered by representatives of the government of Estonia and Benue state government, the Managing Director, CEO, Galaxy Backbone PLC, President, Institute of Software Practitioners of Nigeria, President, Nigeria Computer Society, Managing Director, CHAMS Limited, President, African Information Technology Alliance, Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Gashua, and Chairman of Teledom Group. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice presented the keynote speech. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, declared the conference open. He then led dignitaries on tour of exhibition stands. 7.0, the conference consisted of 10 plenary sections, which featured paper presentations, discussions by panelists, as well as questions and answer sessions. Participants commended the continuous efforts of NIDA in the hosting of the International Conference and Exhibition, most importantly in the choice of the theme and its focus to ensure the fostering of digital economy through local content. 9.0, in the course of the proceedings, participants noted: 1. The theme of the 2017 Nigeria Conference was predicated on 3 segments of using ICT to reduce unemployment, enhance national security, and promote local content development through effective regulations. 2. Efforts of NIDA on local content development, infrastructural development, capacity building, as well as creation and review of existing regulations for effective ICT sector in the country. 3. That in 2017, NIDA saved the sum of 2.5 billion for the federal government of Nigeria through the IT Project Clearance Initiative. 4. ICT deployment in Nigeria is growing at a very high rate, thus positioning the country as one of the fastest growing economies in sub-Saharan Africa, with the sector contributing about 12.58% to the GDP in 2017. However, there's a low patronage of made in Nigerian ICT goods and services, which resulted in considerable capital flight out of the country. 5. The importance of a thriving local content policy through ability to develop a homegrown digital economy, which is dependent upon the development of ICT capacity of Nigerians. 6. The directive of the federal government of Nigeria for all ministries, departments, and agencies, that's MDAs, to patronize made in Nigeria information technology products and services. 7. That the digital economy comprises economic activity resulting from the billions of online connections, leading to increase in revenue, employment of citizens, reduction in corruption, and the creation of jobs. 7. Digital economy is an important enabler of economic growth, since digital skills and technologies have the capacity to boost the productivity of every nation, with such skills and technology projected to contribute 2 trillion to the global economy by the year 2020. 9. The various efforts of countries which experience a high level of economic growth through growing their digital, I will take this again. The serious efforts of countries which experience a high level economic growth through growing their digital economies. Number 10. The Nigerian economy is making digital at over 56 trillion naira in 2016 and 204% increase. Collaborating with relevant government organizations such as Bureau for Public Procurement, BPP, the Economic and Financial Compliance of IT projects. Number 12, the giant strike $1.4 billion annually capital flight. Number 14, that IT envisages a range of actions from the illegal use of information technology or the internet, and the Evidence Act 2011, which gives information technology legislative imprimatur, while Section 84 of the Act identified electronic evidence as vital source of evidence in cases before Nigerian courts. Number 15, the existence of EdTech interventions by the federal government through agencies such as NIDA, NCC, USPF, NUC, TED Fund, to deploy infrastructure in educational institutions. Number 16, the need for equal opportunity in education system for every eligible child to obtain quality education at any level, irrespective of social and economic background. Number 17, lack of integrated health information system is a major hindrance to the growth of health sector in Nigeria. And the huge health tourism budget in public sector is a conduit pipe for siphoning public funds. Number 18, as demonstrated in developed countries, personal identification is the foundation for a sustainable digital economy. Hence, the need for data harmonization in Nigeria is expedient. Number 19, government efforts to achieve efficient data sharing service face challenges, which include lack of defined processes, people buying, and absence of compelling reasons to adopt the flow of data exchange. Number 20, the need to identify low-hanging fruits for gradual implementation in order to achieve the objectives of eNIgeria 2017. To foster digital economy through local content development and regulation, participants recommended the following. Recommended as follows. Number 1, government through NIDA and other stakeholders should continue to promote the required awareness on the need for MDAs to patronize indigenous IT products and services, as well as the use of the gov.ng domain for their websites in order to support the national e-government program. Number 2, all relevant stakeholders in the ICT industry should, as a matter of necessity, engage the Federal Ministry of Justice on the promotion and use of technology in our judicial systems. Number 3, NIDA should continuously engage the Federal Ministry of Justice and the National Assembly for the review and strengthening of the NIDA Act through an executive amendment bill with more stringent punishment for violation of the NIDA Act or the regulations of NIDA. Number 4, NIDA is urged to build strategic alliances aimed at ensuring that Nigeria domesticates and builds capacity in new and emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, smart technologies, and Internet of Things, among others. Number 5, all stakeholders are encouraged to partner with NIDA on the need to ensure compliance with the executive orders of government and the guidelines for Nigerian content development in ICT 2013 for enhancement and guaranteed products and services delivery. Number 6, federal government, through relevant stakeholders, should ensure effective coordination of health services based on an integrated national health database. Number 5, there's a mix-up here. This should be number 7. Stakeholders should work out efficient and effective partnership with development partners for creation of access to affordable capital through a national ICT innovation fund. Then this is 6. Yes, 2 seconds. So number 8, federal government through NIDA should categorize all digital assets in all MDAs in the country to assist in identifying and evaluating the risk assessment and appraisal of how best to secure the assets. Number 9, NIDA's IT clearance role should be used to encourage patronage of indigenous products, especially by MDAs. Number 10, NIDA should partner with Corporate Affairs Commission to ensure all local companies have a .ng domain, while NIDA IT clearance should be a prerequisite before BPP clears any IT project. Number 11, that NIDA's role in the work of Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PBEC, should be strengthened as IT is central to ease of doing business. Number 12, workshop should be organized to review all existing IT content and IT development in Nigeria. The Director General, stakeholders and participants for the success of 17 eNIgeria conference and exhibition. So that's it for now, but I would like to make a few time anymore. What we'll do is that maybe a few observations will be noted while we provide our email. We are, and I will permit me to use this opportunity who has worked really tirelessly to see to the achievement of the main objectives of this conference. Or do we wait for the questions?
I just said, you should not help me. I'm the chairman of this occasion. Okay, because the time is fast spent, I would like to take a few comments from the audience. Very few comments, maybe one from here, one from here, one from here, one from here. So we have 4 interventions. So let's start from my far left. If you have any observation, any question, any concern, any doubt, the floor is open.
Thank you. My name is Edward Adebanjo. I just noticed the title of the communique, draft communique of the eNIgeria 2017 conference and exhibition. I thought we should add exhibition. And then 2.0, line 3, I thought I should read local innovations, and S is missing.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Any typos that might have been noticed, you can please take that offline to the secretariat. It's just by your immediate left. And I assure you, a lot of editing is still going on, and we appreciate that. But in order to save time, please, we want issues that, boil down to policy, regulation, guideline, and what have you. Yes, next.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Adamu Kabiru Difa. My own is appreciation. Okay. I want to recommend NIDA for this year's conference. Thank you very much. And the question is, we have a startup, and we want to know what are the procedures for presenting our startup to NIDA so that we too can pitch a startup one day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. NIDA happens to have an office of innovation and ICT entrepreneurship. If you visit NIDA's website, I believe that you will get the proper contact details where you can, show your innovation, and they will welcome you warmly. Thank you for that. Yes, next. None? Yes, sir.
Thank you. My name is Salisu Shehu. I have 2 quick observations.
Okay.
Under the observation section, observation 9.
9.
Observation 9, please have a look at that. It appears incomplete. I mean, it doesn't give much of meaning. The sentence.
The recommendations, sir, on page 6.
No, not recommendation. Observation number 9.
Point 9. Okay. The communique. Okay. Permit me to read it.
This is recommendation, not this section. Observation number 9.
Observation. Okay. The serious efforts of countries which experience a high-level economic growth through growing their digital economies.
Yeah, it doesn't appear meaningful. It doesn't appear complete. Have a look at it carefully.
Okay,
please.
thank you very much.
Then the second one,
yes, sir.
Still under observation.
Okay.
Observation number 15.
Okay.
That
yes,
is
sir.
about ensuring that every Nigerian child gets equal opportunity to education.
Okay.
I want to suggest that let that be tied down to information technology. That is utilizing information technology to ensure that each Nigerian child, because as it is open-ended.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll take a look at that. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. Yes. The person in the blue shirt? Yes.
My name is Thomas Agebe from Energy Commission of Nigeria. What I have is an advice concerning this conference generally. When it comes to issues of technology, especially in this country, we have a lot of preachers of technology that are fora like this. They say a lot of things without doing anything. Those startups that you saw, I want NIDA to work closely with them. That is where we are going to have something meaningful. Then the role we're going to play in technology may not be wholesome. It can be small. There can be a small innovation. So identify the innovations in this area and work closely with those people with innovations. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I think everybody here will agree with me that that is precisely what NIDA is doing. Otherwise, those people will not be here at this conference. Yes, next question.
Thank you. Mine is not a question. My name is Comrade Danielson Bamidele from the Civil Societies Organization. First and foremost, I think I would like to commend the organizers of this event for what you have done. And secondly, which is also the most important aspect of what I want to say, is that the students that are young innovators who have presented a lot of innovative, concepts here, especially as at yesterday, I would, advise that NIDA should do everything possible to encourage them, give them all the necessary support to ensure that they can be, able to develop further on what they have been able to do so far. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those two interventions seems to be one and the same. Thank you is noted. Let me call the guy. Now, wait a minute. Ladies, sisters, where are you? I'd like to give a lady the floor now. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Please, it's just a kind of omission that I noticed because my minister is represented there. That is Minister of Defense, but it's not showing in the communique. So that is what I want to bring up to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Noted. That will be corrected. Any other lady? None. Any other lady? Please.
My name is Mariam Gajira Mohammed, founder of Startup Nasarawa. What I want to say is just an observation, mostly to the LOC. Some students have grievances over what happened here, so I wish next time their issues will be taken care of. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. I didn't get your advice. Can you please speak louder?
I said a student from Nigeria Association of Computer Science Students.
NACOS.
Yes, ma'am. So there are grievances with the issue of the welfare and grievances in the sense that their accommodation issue and other things was not well taken care of. And we hope in the future in Nigeria it will not happen again. Thank you.
Thank you. If I understood her concern, she's talking about support for members of NACOS that participated in this conference. Well, okay, I will relay your, it's noted. But you can see me after this session, and I'll give you some insight into how we managed as students to take part in the NCS conferences and so on. Okay. I think we have 1 minute to take the very last intervention. Okay. That person in the local dress. I'll give you the floor. Yes, that one. In Akara top. Yes.
Okay. Good evening. I want to commend the organizers for a work well done. But it's like we have not done what should be done, and that is we should emphasize hardware. Hardware is very important.
Hardware.
Yes. We've been talking, over the years, we've been talking about software. You can't have software without hardware. And, those Western countries, industrialized countries, that is what they want us to be doing. Software, software, software. I think it is time to change the whole thing. Thank you very much.
Well, I've noted your comments, but my immediate reaction to that is that where the innovation comes in is actually in the software, where the intellectual property is, and where, hold on. Computers have been around. They are getting smaller and smaller by the day. Yes, why not? If you can create a computer that is this size, why not? You would disrupt the, system, and then you get the value that people will see the value in it and they will follow. I agree with you. There is no foreclosing, anything, and that innovation can only come from software. Why not? If you can design a new people are doing drones now. Drones are hardware, even though they are controlled, with software. So I agree with you. It's noted. So we've taken note of the comments, and I assure you the Secretariat will do justice to that. Before I invite my colleague to thank all of us for being so wonderful throughout the conference, I want to just say a few things as government. Don't forget, I'm a civil servant. I work with the Ministry of Communications, the parent ministry of NIGTA, and we're doing this together. I want to say that we have some fundamental issues as Nigerians that we need to take note of if we truly want to grow the ICT sector in Nigeria. Now, we should, number one, the world is not going to wait for us. In fact, the world prefers that we keep sleeping so that that huge market that we have can continue to grow and feed their own economies. So that's number one thing I want us to have at the back of our minds. The second point is that we need to believe in ourselves as individuals and as a nation. If we begin to develop self-confidence, self-appreciation, believe in our ability and our capacities, God-given talents, we will begin to appreciate the other people in our small work environment, in our communities. And when we begin to have that mindset shift, we will begin to believe in our country, Nigeria. This is a blessed country with all the resources that we need, not just to survive, but to thrive as a nation, as the true giant of Africa. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to love Nigeria, buy Nigeria, wear Nigeria, use Nigeria, and trust Nigeria. On this note, Dr. Vincent Olatunji is the Director of E-Government Development and Regulation of the National Information Technology Development Agency. I'd like to invite him to the podium to give a few remarks and thank all of us for being so wonderful. Thank you very much for your attention.
The representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Communications, Mrs. Moni Udo, my colleague, Dr. Collins Agu, my former boss, who is a brother and a friend, the former DG of NIDA, Engineer Peter Jack, heads of professional bodies here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My job has been simplified by so many people right from the first day of this conference. Even Mr. President thanked the DG of NIDA and his team, as well as the Minister of Communications and all of us involved in this sector. When the minister was to speak during the opening ceremony too, he thanked Mr. President and the NIDA team. And when the representative of the PAMSEC started this afternoon, she thanked everybody. So in a way, if I had my way, I would have just said my job has been done and say thank you, then go and sit down. But to put things in proper perspective, it is really important to appreciate those that have contributed in one way or the other to the success of this conference. Yes, we've been here for 3 days, but the planning that went to the preparation was not only for 3 days. It went on for several months of sleepless nights. But before I start thanking human beings, I think it's really important to give glory to God Almighty, without whom none of us will be here today. And if God did not agree to all we planned, everything would have been in vain. So we give glory to God for the opportunity given to us to plan and execute the 2017 edition of eNIgeria. I think it's really important to mention the presence of Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His presence here on the first day of this conference, I would say, is very, very significant. And that has sent out a message to all stakeholders in this sector, to all Nigerians, and indeed to the global community, that ICT has come to stay in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, he had a very, very important national assignment that day, a constitutional requirement for that matter, to present the budget of this country to the National Assembly. But because of the special respect he has for this agency, for this sector, and the position he has accorded ICT, the change matter of this administration, despite that very important assignment, he decided to personally come to declare the conference open. I think he deserves a round of applause here. Now, to all the stakeholders that have participated in one way or the other, especially our resource persons that came from all over the world. We had people from Canada, from US, from UK, from Ghana, and from Nigeria. Without the resource persons, there wouldn't have been any conference. Because that is the main content of the conference. And I know what it takes to prepare presentations. So they will have spent sleepless nights. They will have done a lot of research before coming there to make their presentations. We cannot pay them enough because knowledge, we cannot even buy knowledge with money. So really I want to appreciate them for their contribution to the success of this eNIgeria 2017. To the professional bodies, NCS, CPN, ISPON, ITAN, NACOS, our student body, the young innovators, we really thank you for your presence and contribution to the conference. Now to the local organizing committee, to the exhibitors. Without them, what we've displayed out there would not be possible. And we all know what it takes to come from different places to come and mount to an exhibition. Although they are showcasing their products, they are showcasing their services. But however, if you call them and they refuse to come. So for their presence throughout the duration of this conference, we really appreciate you. And we hope when next we call you, you will be with us. To the local organizing committee, we know how we've worked. At times we shouted, at times we harassed, at times we intimidate. All we did was just for us to achieve a successful event. And I want to say, in one way or the other, you've all contributed immensely to the success of eNIgeria 2017. And I think at this juncture, I think it's really important to mention here that without a particular human being, it wouldn't have been possible for all of us to be here. You know, those that have executive powers, no matter what you say, no matter how you plan, no matter what you want to do, no matter how good you think it is, if they don't put that red pen on your paper, you can't do anything. So I want to especially thank our headmaster. We call him headmaster in our office, for approving that we should host this event. Because at times, when people get to offices, they say, okay, yeah, you'll be holding it. No, I don't want it. But they accepted, and they are supported in several ways. In fact, on Monday night, he was here till 12:30 at the time. And I said, Oga, go and rest. He said, you mean I should go and rest? I said, go and rest, sir. He said, okay. If anything goes wrong, I will hold you responsible. I said, hold me responsible. By the time we finished setting up around 12:30, I snapped the picture of the whole place and I sent to him. That 12:30, he replied immediately. He said, great. So let's give him a round of applause, please. So on behalf of the entire management and all staff of NIDA, we would like to especially thank our DG for supporting us to come this far. I will thank all of you, and we pray that by the special grace of God, we'll see you at eNIgeria 2018. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olatunji. So on this note, I would like to move for the adoption of the communique. Will somebody volunteer to support the motion? Yes, please, over there. Thank you very much, my sister. Yes, sir. You're welcome to support. Thank you very much, sir. Your name, sir? Professor Salisu Shehu has magnanimously moved the motion to adopt the communique subject to the observations that were raised and corrected in the document. Thank you very much, sir. So on this note, I think our job is done, and I will invite the MC to take us through the end of the program. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We can make it better. A round of applause. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome the former Director General of NIDA, Mr. Peter Jack, to come on stage and give us 1 minute goodwill message. Sorry, a 1 minute goodwill message. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Eminent personalities here present, my adopted brother and very good friend, Dr. Pantami, who has been wonderful. In fact, I should drop the word adopted, my brother. A round of applause. Looking around me, I see brothers, sisters, and friends. In fact, I left NIDA and I left behind my brothers, my sisters, and my friends. Looking beyond NIDA, I also look at the Ministry of Communication, and all I see are brothers, sisters, uncles, and friends. Again, some of my board members, when I was DG, are here. And I will also refer to them as brothers and friends. Honestly, 1 minute is not enough for what I like to say. But my Oga and friend has permitted me to go ahead. 10 years on, eNIgeria. It's a good coincidence that approval was given for eNIgeria. So it's also significant that His Excellency Mr. President was here. And what does that tell us? It means that this government recognizes the importance of ICT for a nation, developing the nation. What does that also tell us? It means that the days of talk are over. There's a young man there who, although he was referring to young innovators, I think what he was also trying to say is that the time has come for us to do something about using ICT for national development. The strategy is clear. It started way in the beginning. We agreed to adopt a multi-stakeholder partnership strategy. And many of us will recall that that was what was done many years ago. And it is also possible that God in his infinite wisdom has brought a man, a no-nonsense man, a man who is determined to succeed, a man who has embraced everybody in the industry as a friend, who has also called some of us who were just going to retire, albeit early, to come back and support ICT development in the country. Honestly, it is now time to do something about using IT to develop this country. I'll give one or two examples. In the health sector alone, if we do a national e-health information system, the potential for revenue generation is mind-boggling, and that is just health. If we talk about agriculture, a national e-agric marketplace, we can imagine what can happen. When you talk about the petroleum industry, so what I'm trying to say in effect is that the time has come for us to go ahead and implement eNigeria in e-sectors, e-health. Talk about procurement. Procurement is not only about procurement. There's also the disposal aspect of procurement. So why can't we also talk about a national procurement portal or a national e-auction portal? Government assets are there, wasting in many places that have been abandoned. So the point I'm making in effect, my brother and DG, we are there behind you 100%. We are going to work with you to ensure that we take this country sectorally, one by one. The international development partners, bilateral opportunities. I even speak passable Korean. The Koreans are supporting the Ministry of Communication. My sister, am I right? So what are we waiting for? We don't need too many talk shops. Let's begin to implement what we know we can do. Finally, I can't stop without saying the thank you. Dr. Vin, you've already said thank you, but I think I should continue thanking everybody. Why am I thanking people? There are a lot of people, in particular, those young people, NACOS, we do remember you. If you recall, I was at your university to give a talk about careers in ICT some years back. You have not been forgotten, and I will make sure that our brother does not sleep until he recognizes you the way he has planned to recognize you. That's a true promise. Furthermore, I want to promise the industry that there are one or two of us here. We should remember the roles they've played. I don't have to mention names, but they know themselves. Don't despair. This is the time to come together. Judge people by their good parts, not by their bad parts. That's a message I want to give everybody here. Don't give up on anybody. That you are not getting what you expect does not mean somebody does not like you. So focus on only the positive opportunities you see in an environment. And that way, Nigeria will be a better place. Thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. DG, former DG. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement. If you know you are missing an ATM card, see me after now. And it is my pleasure to announce to you that we have come to the end of eNigeria 2017. And lunch is served. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Oh, please, we have to stand up for the national anthem. Patriotic Nigerians, we have to stand up for the national anthem. Oh, please. A group photograph. Oh, okay.